Air guitar. Welcome to the Star Wars Reporter podcast. I am one of your hosts. I'm Wookiee Steve. I'm here with Darth Slobo.
Back again.
We're here after a million years away to what better way to start off the podcast again than with the Star Wars Day, the May the 4th podcast.
May the 4th be with you.
May the 4th be with us all. I felt like Tiny Tim just then, except I'm older with
this
a
is
beard
really
and
like a cultural phenomenon today. Like it's all of Twitter. That's all I was seeing on Twitter today is nothing but May the 4th. Awesome pictures, awesome clips. So much so that even some hardcore Star Wars fans have posted them filtering out Star Wars content because it's so popular with the masses and not with the hardcore fans. But I don't know, more fandom issues.
I know, because nerds are cool now, which kind of sucks, but and actually my wife and I were talking about that. The people that she works with, she works in a school, they wanted me to do some kind of Star Wars thing for the kids today, but my wife forbid it because I'm a giant dork and it would embarrass her. But for a couple of years, when they were doing class from Zoom, I actually came in and I had the one time I had the Boba Fett helmet on, and the other time I had the Darth Vader helmet on, and I had different toys or crafts. Well, I was sitting with my wife, and she was doing this Star Wars craft. They were making a Baby Yoda or something, and
of course,
I really didn't say much, but they kept saying, "Is that your husband?" And I kept shaking my head because I wasn't talking, because they'd never seen what I looked like. So it was really kind of fun. But today, to rub salt in that wound, she kept sending me pictures of things they were doing Star Wars themed today. And she was mentioning it seems so mainstream now everywhere on all her social media. Everyone's May the 4th, May the 4th. The teachers in the school, the principal for the announcements announced it was May the 4th. So I thought, speaking of James Hammond, May the 4th be with you as well.
May the 4th be with you.
So it's kind of cool. So she was sending me pictures of all the things, and she's like, I bet you wish you were here. And they were watching like Star Wars Lego movies, and they had treats, and everyone was wearing the t-shirts, and that's
hilarious. See, I remember when I was in school, it was really only like the nerds and the dorks that were like, oh, May the 4th, right? Now I feel like now you're right. It's like it's so mainstream. It's such a cultural holiday, cultural phenomenon. That might be one of my next research projects, is how that came to be and the pervasiveness of that in our culture. Yeah. I think that's fascinating.
One of the things I think is that when Hollywood and the corporations realized that there was a ton of money involved, i.e. San Diego Comic-Con, everyone had to get involved, right? So
yeah,
when these corporations are pounding in money, and San Diego Comic-Con became this kind of small, big nerd event to this massive thing, which is like, maybe the people that weren't the nerds, like us growing up or whatever, thought to themselves, man, I need a break from cool things like football and to hang out with these guys. And I think maybe that was part of it, and social media probably helped, where it just is brought in more people. But I just think it was when the money was there, and they said, man, these nerds have a lot of money and they spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
So maybe that's part of it. But James told my boomer boss that 5 to 6 times a day. He was like, huh? Well, it sounds like, James, that you need to find a new job because those people you work with suck. But
you heard it here first.
But I'm not responsible for anything. Your friends, your employment, your relationships, they got to be axed. All right. So before we get started, just to make sure that everyone who is listening and watching, sorry you had to see this, but if you're watching, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. That would help us out a lot. And of course, You can follow us on social media. You can follow us, of course, on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and we do have Twitter. For some reason, I ran out of room somewhere. And if you want to collaborate, have a promotion you'd like us to talk about, which I'm going to be doing with someone later on today on this podcast. If you have a news tip or you just want to say hi, give us contact at StarWarsReporter.com. All complaints go to Trooper Todd, who is not here today.
Come on, Todd.
Way to go, Todd. And of course, visit the site, StarWarsReporter.com. It's really cool. All the cool kids are going there. So now we have a lot to get to, mainly the new Obi-Wan trailer. Some of the
By
images.
A lot, we mean only 2 videos.
2 videos. I know. You know what? As short as it was, there was a few extra things, and we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
That kind of showed a lot. We'll get into the Book of Boba Fett from the Disney Gallery, that behind the scenes kind of trailer for this thing that's going to be released in July. There's a Ewok giveaway we'll talk about that we wrote about on the site, which is what I was talking about. Someone sent us an email and had a giveaway, wondered if we would promote it, and so we are. So we'll get to that. But first, James is like, I don't know Todd. He's Trooper Todd. If you go to StarWarsReporter.com and go to the About Us, scroll down, you'll see his bio. He's one of the scoundrels that does podcasts with us, and I just like, it's funnier when he's here. When I say to direct all hate mail to him, it's funnier, but he's not here because he had real life stuff to do. And
who works on May the 4th?
Yeah, I guess he needs to quit his job. But we'll get to that. What we wanted to start out with was kind of I feel so weird by saying it this way, a show and tell, because it sounds
show
like
and tell,
a video you don't want to pop up in your Google. But show and tell, where we like to show the things that we bought that disappoint our wives and hurt our bank books.
I'm guilty of that this week.
I know. So we're gonna start. It's funny. While you were telling me about some of the stuff you bought, I have some stuff here off to the side that I might get to, and it's all family friendly. All right. So go ahead. Go ahead.
Show and tell. Okay. First things first. Look at that box.
Ooh, 40th anniversary.
Anniversary box. Love it. I got to give a huge shout out to Ryan Goligly and B. Keeler, who run Ryan's Toynado out of Kingston, Ontario. That it's this huge vintage and collector's toy auction. They are awesome. They have a cool little like podcast Facebook Live auction that they do. They put up all these cool toys. They got Star Wars toys, G.I. Joes, TMNT, all of this cool stuff. I had a great time participating. It's all on Facebook Live. Go find them on Facebook. Super, super cool. I had a great time bidding on these things. So I won 2 things. And I feel like I needed to compensate for my lack of Star Wars background. I got all of these books and degrees
he's got
for
books.
my work meetings.
He's rubbing it in. I've got dork stuff. He's got smart stuff. But go on.
And I've got no Star Wars toys here. I'm lacking compared to Wookiee Steve here.
Yeah,
now
I guess
key is
compensating for sure. That's what I'm doing.
Now the first thing, the reason I searched them out was to this guy right here.
Ooh,
Darth himself.
Very nice.
Look at that.
Oh, that's really
the original trilogy collection. So I bid. The bidding started on this one at $10. I went all the way up to $26 because I wanted this guy so bad. This was the one from my childhood, Darth Vader, the one that got the most play. You know, I had C-3PO, I had R4, I had Luke. Darth's my man. He's got to go up there number 1. And the next thing I bid on was this box, actually. So this was a lot. It had, I think 9 toys, maybe 10 toys. I don't know. It's full of toys here. Great
get
lot.
out of here.
$40. So we got the Rancor Keeper.
Very nice. And he's not even crying yet. That's very
cool. He's cool, but I don't know if he's bookshelf worthy. I'm going to put him to the side for now. We got Bib Fortuna.
Oh,
Fortuna.
the fit svelte bib
Yeah.
Fortuna before he got
Yeah, the
shot in the
very
head.
fit one. Yeah. I like this one. This was a good one after Book of Boba Fett. That's a good pickup too.
I think you
Here, this
need a
one,
Danny. I think you need a Danny Trejo to go along with that
I would
Rancor.
love a Danny Trejo. If they did a Black Series Danny Trejo, I'd probably
Yeah,
shell out for that
yeah,
because it's
hell's
Danny
yeah.
Trejo. Star Wars Machete. Come on.
Oh,
We
that'd be
got
so
the
good.
fighter pilot. This one, Trooper Todd might like that one. Hey, the fighter
Oh, yes,
pilot.
that's right.
That's a
Yeah,
cool one.
he's all
All
about
of
the
these are in
smuggler.
great condition too. Like I remember these ones. Right, these are the ones you saw in the toy aisle all the time.
Right.
This is a cool one. Weequay Skiff Guard. That's another cool one.
Oh, right. All the
Yeah.
guys that were flying off the skiff into the
Yeah.
Sarlacc.
Now I think you have this one too. Tatooine Darth Maul. I love this one too. This was a cool pickup. And
You
it's got
know,
the Comtech chip in there too. Remember those old ones that you used to get? I don't know if they'll fit.
yes.
There we go.
Oh yeah, that's how you cover up some education.
Of course, they're gonna come down immediately when the podcast is over.
That's I know. It's like I have to hide it from my wife so she isn't disappointed.
This is another cool one after Bad Batch, which we're gonna talk about later. I was disappointed we didn't get Bad Batch season 2
Yeah,
material.
yeah.
I was pissed.
I think
But
we'll blame Filoni on that then.
Conway, look at that. That's a
Oh
great one
wow,
too.
that looks
Camino
so
toy.
cool.
That's pretty cool, hey? Comes with
Oh
a little
man,
cloning
even then the action
container.
figures seem to look a lot nicer.
Yeah. I'm running out of room here. Conway's super cool too. We
You
got, of
might
course,
have to move some
Destroyer.
of your educational books.
I don't know. Destroyer, this one's cool too.
Oh, I didn't even know they had those.
I remember
That's awesome.
these took me back going through. Like I remember watching episode 1 and seeing a destroyer droid for the first time. Remember when they were trying to gas Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, like
Right.
early on, and then those bubble shields came up. I was like, no
Yeah.
way, that's such a cool droid. And then we're getting into some goodies. 2, not 1, 2 Han Solos.
What? Oh, that's
2
very
Han
cool.
Solos. Yeah.
I
The
like it.
Hoth Gear one. Hoth Gear one. Love it. Had the Luke companion to that one. I don't know where it is now, of course. And then the one with the original card. Vital
Oh, wow.
statistics back there. That's cool too, eh?
That is I like that.
And now this is a tough one because the last one here, I think, was a huge get for me. And I don't know who I'm going to put up. Han or Bosk?
Ooh, Bossk looks really good. I like that one.
Yeah, that's a cool one too, hey?
I know Todd would say
Book of
Bossk for
Boba
sure.
Fett. Yeah, Todd's a
Yeah.
big Bosk fan. Todd's a big Bosk fan. We'll go Bosk for now.
He likes all the stormtroopers and aliens. I was always it worked out when we were playing when we were kids because I always liked the rebels and the humans, and he liked the Empire and all the monsters and the aliens. Worked out.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Todd's gonna like some of these too, hey? Gonna have to show him next time. But yes, everyone, Ryan's Toynado, find them on Facebook. You will have a heck of a time. It's a really cool atmosphere. These guys auction off a whole bunch of different toys. Go check them out. It's where I got Darth. It's where I got Maul. All these cool ones. So that is my show and tell. Finally, I have somewhat of a background. Nothing compares to Wookiee Steve, the legend, but there we go. We got some Star Wars in the background.
This is just a photo that I did one of those background things on. I don't have any of these. It's just a bunch of like the gray cement walls and stuff like that.
It's the green screen.
None of this is real. See, I'm just kind of pushing at it. So it's funny because let me hit my thing here. I do have a Darth Maul, but it was I was cleaning up, doing some spring cleaning, and I came across I forgot I had bought for episode 1.
No way! Is that the double saber Maul?
Yes.
Oh, that's a cool one.
With the card, it's not even out of the package.
That's
I have
cool.
Qui-Gon.
Oh, love that one. Oh, I'm gonna have to look out for that one.
And
no way.
Obi-Wan. And it's funny.
I'm jealous.
I have Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon out of the package that I found at a yard sale, but I didn't even know I had these guys. So that was kind of cool. And you were talking about being at Toys R Us coming across.
Yes.
And this just reminds me of the Droids cart. Well, it's because it is. But even if you could find the originals, I could not spend the money on what the originals actually would cost. So I got these three. And it was kind of juvenile, the cartoon back in the day, but Star Wars was over, right? There was no more Star Wars, and this is like anything. Even the Ewok show that ran before this, or was it after? I just loved it just because there wasn't any Star Wars. So yeah. So
another cool thing that they had, I just remembered as you're going out, you're going through your toys there too. They had a bunch of unboxed toys too. Like he put up one bid, Ryan's Toynado. It was a Y-wing, and it was in great condition, like the classic Y-wing.
Wow!
And he was going to throw in an AT-AT driver with it, like the old school AT-AT driver, like really good condition. I couldn't afford it. I mean, considering I only spent $66, but
wow,
it was
the Y-wing is my second favorite fighter. Second favorite.
He still got it. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's still got. Nobody bid on it, so we're gonna have to tune in next time. Maybe we can.
I'm gonna have to
get our hands on it.
I need to replace my 77, 78 X-wing because I don't think it came out till.
He's got one of those too.
No way.
I think he's got one of those too. Yeah.
I'm dying to find that to replace it so I can relive my youth and nostalgia and because I can't afford a Corvette. So isn't that what you do in midlife? So I'm gonna buy dork things and not spend $80,000 on a Corvette or whatever it is. See, I have no idea. Yeah, I always love these. I go on to the marketplace auctions, and half the time I'm burned. Where it's like, wow, this is a great thing. Like there was some lady selling, like a Stormtrooper helmet and a Boba Fett helmet. It was like out of the box, the whole bit. And it wasn't like 501st kind of quality. And I'm like, it was $50. I'm like, hi, right away. I'm like, hi, are these still available? She's like, yeah. I'm like, I'll be over at 4 today after I get off work and pick it up. She's like, okay, great. And an hour later, she sends me a message. She goes, yeah, I don't think I'm going to sell this to you. A lot of people want it. And I think I have to rethink the price on this. And what I should have did was report. You can't do that.
Yeah.
And then someone else did that to me. It was like a huge bag of Star Wars Lego, just the people, all Star Wars.
Oh, I've seen a few of those pop up.
A whole bag of them, and it was like $10 for the whole thing. I'm like, holy cow! And then like so many people, it was the same thing. I think I've priced this wrong, so I'm not going to sell these to you, or I sold them to someone else. They gave me a lot more money. It's like I made arrangements to come see you, but
yeah.
So yeah, I have to check out that Ryan's Tornado of Mayhem.
Toynado.
I like my name better.
Toy Toynado.
Toynado. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That is more clever.
Very clever.
That is cool. So going from that, let's just want to, and again, before we get into the Kenobi, the trailer to talk about that, just again want to wish everyone a happy Star Wars Day and may the 4th be with you. Thanks for being with us this year.
What a great clip, eh?
That's funny. I am so not a filmmaker, but before we get in, I'm just going to let's get into.
Wait! Before we get into Kenobi, what was your expectations of Star Wars Day going into it? Like May the 3rd, you're getting excited.
Yeah,
it's like Santa's coming. What were your expectations?
My expectations were Do you know, I didn't have any expectations because from what I remember, it wasn't a lot last year either. But I thought we were going to see something for Kenobi. We were going to see something for the Bad Batch, maybe Andor, and then you know what? That's the only thing I could think of. You know, maybe a whole lot of comic talk and Lego talk and all this kind of stuff. But uh, and what you know, again, I don't know what you thought, but we obviously didn't get any of that, or not most of it. Like what were you thinking?
I was, you know, I was hoping for quite a bit. I was hoping that they were going to do the works and like every other hour of the day, they were going to release something new because they released Kenobi like pretty early in the day, which was good. But I mean, thinking about last year, I feel like we got burned last year. There was so
Oh
much
yeah,
potential that they could do because they had so much in the pipeline,
yes,
and we kind of got burned on all of it. And I'm kind of feeling the same way. Like, don't get me wrong, I am extremely grateful for the Kenobi footage we got. Extremely grateful. And I shouldn't necessarily bite the hand that feeds, but there's
mm,
so much in the works right now, right? Like we have Kenobi, it's Kenobi month. Like we
yes,
everyone needs to get excited for Kenobi month. We have Bad Batch season 2 on the horizon. We have Andor, and I'm pretty sure we just talked about them wrapping shooting on that.
yes, yeah,
We have Ahsoka
right.
eventually coming out. There's all these different books that are coming out, new comic series, everything. You know, I feel like there was almost a missed opportunity to capitalize on everyone's popular interest. Like now's the time that everyone's looking at Star Wars beyond just, you know, the dorks like us. Everyone's looking at Star Wars, and this was sort of an opportunity for Disney to say, look what we've got. We've got multiple Disney Plus things in the works.
Mhm.
We've got, you know, multiple different novels that we're releasing, some big novels. We've got, I don't know, maybe new Black Series toys. We've got new comic books. All of these things that they could have been doing.
Right.
That I feel like it was a missed opportunity. And you know, I'm a little sad. I'm holding out hope for Ahsoka, but I'm actually really, after watching the Book of Boba Fett, I'm very interested in how Bad Batch season 2 is going to go
Hmm.
because they
Yeah,
released it around this time last year, or it was heading into the summer, wasn't it?
yeah. It was. I think it was in the summer, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I My thought is maybe this, that they might not have a lot of production for some of these other shows ready, but or they're saving everything for the big bash for Star Wars Celebration,
Oh,
right?
that's right. Yeah, that's
So
right.
Star Wars, or May the 4th might be so, like if they had a ton of stuff, they might split it. But I'm thinking they've probably just put all their eggs in one
Yeah.
basket. So I think that I mean the list of celebrities that it's going to be at the celebration is like everyone from Book of Boba Fett. You're going to have Ewan McGregor there. Like everyone's going to be there. So you might have more. They might have more announcements or more things that they haven't told us about yet. So it'll
Yeah, you
be
know what? You're
it'll be
probably
interesting.
right.
And I just kind of thought it was light today because they don't have a
Maybe
lot.
May the 4th is getting too cliche for Disney. I mean, they host the biggest Star Wars event in the galaxy on their own land, their own campus in Anaheim. So why not just release it to all the hardcore fans that'll shell out money
No,
to
May the
travel
4th.
to
Sacrilege.
SoCal?
Sacrilege. How dare you? I'm getting a bar of soap as we speak. We're we're fixing you. No, yeah, I mean, like I said, I think they don't have a lot that they can brag about except for Kenobi, Kenobi, maybe the Bad Batch because it was confirmed and it's easy. They can just kind of shoot Filoni out on a stage. with some art,
Yeah.
and have him talk for an hour. You know what I mean? Like things like that.
Yeah.
Even if he doesn't have anything planned, if they haven't even started putting it together, he could just go out and BS his way through what the Bad Batch is and theories about. Oh, geez, already I forgot her name. Omega, things like that.
Omega, yeah.
Just throw it out there. So but in the very least, they could have did some kind of promotion with Hasbro, right? And I think
Yeah,
that's what they
totally.
do for Celebration, right? They get all the Hasbro stuff on stage or whatever, and I think it's just going to be a Celebration thing because they have
Yeah,
nothing.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I
Well,
think they're just low.
on the verge of speaking of theorizing, get into this Kenobi trailer. Let's dig our teeth into it.
All right. So let me find. All right.
They're coming.
Have we seen that shot? Oh yeah, it's a cool shot.
See, this is the shot of all the criticism that the Inquisitors have gotten about the giant head and all this kind of stuff. This is really good. This looks a lot better than all of the dark. When normally you can
this
make
is a cool shot. Did we
This is
see?
a
We
cool
saw
shot.
that previous shot. Hey, when he's what is it? The fifth brothers walking with the line of stormtroopers.
Yes.
I
Where is
think we
it?
saw that one before. I'm super interested in that planet. That looks like a cool planet.
It's yeah, I don't know. It's kind of reminds me of Blade Runner, but it's
Totally.
what's that unreleased series that Lucas was making? Have you ever
Yeah, the
seen that?
Underworld of Coruscant. Yeah.
Yeah, that looks so. I wish that became a thing because apparently
Yeah,
they had
that's kind of reminds me of the last season of Clone Wars with when Ahsoka goes to the underground of
right,
Coruscant. It's kind of very similar to that. But
and
this
I
is a
think
really cool shot. I love seeing what is it, the Inquisitorius with the Grand Inquisitor and Reva and the fifth brother there. Super
yes,
cool shot.
and normally things would look really good in the dark, right? They can hide a lot, but I when I first saw this, I thought, wow, that looks a lot better than that other trailer and other images of the
Yeah,
Grand Inquisitor guy because I mean he looks a heck of a lot better here.
totally. I
So
really love the contrast too. Like you can tell that these are bad guys in
yeah,
contrast to like the pale tones of Tatooine, right? You see the sand, the buildings, the people are dressed in like tans and earthy colors, and then you have the black outfits that just pop. You know instantly that these are bad guys.
oh
And
yeah,
I mean, wherever that is, we're back on Tatooine, right? It's
the same
maybe Mos
sets.
Eisley. Yeah, the
Yeah,
same
the
set
same
before the
sets.
Rancor. Before the Rancor.
I know. I think I see Boba Fett back here somewhere. Yeah. All right. So
Do you think this is sorry to pause it again? Do you think this is going to get a lot of hate again for just going back to Tatooine?
oh, is it? I mean, yeah, you can already hear it. People are from the first trailer, and well, the whole thought of Kenobi is where was Kenobi after Episode 3, right? He was supposed to be
Yeah,
at Tatooine looking after Luke. So what were people expecting? And he's probably going to be off the planet from time to time. Maybe it seems, but yeah, I mean, they didn't plan that out very well. When you had the Mandalorian, then you had Book of Boba Fett, and in the middle, this was filming and doing stuff, and it's on Tatooine again.
yeah. This
I
is
you
a
know
cool
I love
shot
it.
too, though. Like this, I mean, I love Tatooine. I'm never going to complain about
I love
Tatooine, but
Tatooine. Yeah,
this is a cool shot too. Hey, we see the fifth brother with his super cool spinning
yes,
double saber. Love that.
yeah.
And you see Owen Lars there. This, I think, this
There it is
must
here.
be close to a scene from the last trailer. Wasn't there some sort of um, judgment or hanging or
Yeah, there was
something that
some kind
everyone
of
was gathered
hanging.
for?
Yeah, and they're walking around, and Uncle Owen is looking all, or I
Uncle.
guess, well, he was kind of Uncle Owen then. So, uh, all right, so let's.
Or we will not survive.
And I like that's how I had that written. Oh, geez, I had that. I like what Obi-Wan is saying here. Hang on.
Stay hidden,
The stay hidden.
or we will not survive.
Leave us alone.
When the time comes, he must be trained.
Like you trained his father?
Oh, snap.
Ooh, that was the biggest. To
Oh,
me, that was the
snap.
biggest line of the trailer. Oh, Owen
I was-
Lars dropping bombs.
He's like, it's now. I think that we're going to see a lot of explanation of, maybe Lars wasn't such a grumpy douche, like how he was acting in episode 4. He was just trying to protect because he knew his dad became this monster, right?
Does he know that? Does he know that his dad became Vader, or does he just remember him as the Anakin Skywalker who supposedly died? Maybe we'll find out. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess, they never had a conversation, in episode 3, you just see Obi-Wan dropping him off, but maybe he's had this conversation like, I'm going into hiding, because they were in the Outer Rim. He's like, the Republic is fallen. I'm going to hiding. The Jedi are gone. He is our last hope. We need to protect him. He's your family, blah, blah, blah. And, maybe he's, I don't know, because I don't know if Obi-Wan knew that that Anakin became Darth Vader. And there's something in this trailer that I wonder if they've just edited to look that way, or if he actually had knowledge that Anakin was this Darth Vader. But he must have known he was Darth Vader at some point, because the whole mission that Obi-Wan and then Yoda was trying to do was train him to kill Darth Vader. But I just love this line. I was
Great
laughing
line.
when I was watching it.
Yeah,
Leave us alone.
great introduction.
When the time comes, he must be trained.
Like you trained his father?
Oh yeah.
You still want Kenobi. He's gone.
Maybe you've been looking in the wrong.
See, in those pods going out, it's really interesting. We talked about this the last trailer about who or what they are. So
there was something in a clip later on that leads me to believe that they're sending out probe droids to try to find Jedi.
Oh, okay,
super cool castle too, like the Inquisitor's castle, that home base there. Super cool, seeing all the TIE stormtroopers.
Right. All right.
Wrong places. I want every lowlife and bounty hunter.
See, and that was Obi-Wan shooting with a blaster.
Yeah, and did you? That was what's his name? Forlom.
Yes.
Forlom.
Yes.
That's a cool one too, to see his like wanted poster. That's cool. Right there. Yeah.
Like
that was from he's from what? Empire Strikes Back?
Yes. Yeah.
He's one of the bounty hunters in the back, or one of the droids.
I think that is, yeah. That's very cool.
Hunter. To squeeze him.
Obi-Wan martial arts.
Oh yeah, hand to hand, because he can't use a saber, right? Like he can't give himself up as a Jedi. He's got to use blasters and sabers, or blasters in his hands.
Right, because that's the thing too, right? They've never really gone through that. I'm thinking about that kind of martial art. If you're being trained as a Jedi, they just don't say, okay, well, here's the Force, you control the Force, here's a lightsaber. They have to, I wonder, maybe they don't, but I wonder if they would work them into learning how to defend yourself. What if you lose your lightsaber? Your lightsaber is absolutely gone and Force power isn't working. You got to start using hand to hand and grappling and all this other kind of stuff. And I wonder if this is just standard training. I mean, he's Obi-Wan, so he's probably really good at it. But this,
I think it is so like cool. we go. There's been many times in the Clone Wars animated series where they lost their saber, or they just didn't have it, and they Anakin and Obi-Wan especially were forced to do hand-to-hand combat, and they did very well. So I don't think it's a leap to say that that is a core piece of their training.
Right. And I like the actual angle. It's a very martial art movie feel when they want to show kind of the closeness, because a lot of fighting happens. It's really close up, right? That's why the
Yeah.
grappling becomes an important thing.
To squeeze
This,
him.
look how close that is.
Yeah.
Now those look like some hoodlums trying to mug him. It looked like, but
That's cool. Love that.
see again,
Right there, right there. Did you see?
right?
Blaster again.
If I go back,
When Obi-Wan is pointing the blaster. There, boom. You see the probe droid in the background?
oh yeah, look at that. He looks very different there. Yes, that's
Yeah, look at that.
very cool.
Look at that hair, McGregor.
Get a haircut. So yeah, they're
Before
gonna
we get
have.
to this last part.
I know. I just wanted to pause here.
Oh my gosh. So if you go back, the clip of with Kumail Nanjiani, they kept
Very
his
good.
character under wraps, right? Like we have no idea who he's playing. But tell me if I'm wrong, but those look like Jedi robes.
Yeah, it looks like Jedi robes.
So he could
And-
totally be someone trying to find Kenobi, getting him and Kenobi into trouble with the Inquisitors.
Yeah, definitely. He totally looks like a Jedi. Guaranteed, he's going to be murdered by Reva. Guaranteed. This is probably who he's fighting right now, right? He's got that look on his face, like, well, I'm dead. To one of the main characters, which is really interesting. Like, are you ready? See that part right there? It's probably editing to be trickery or whatever, but I wonder if at a certain point the Force exposed Vader, right? Like he knew maybe.
Yeah, I would hope so. Like that would be.
See, because his eyes start.
Oh, yeah.
He does this, and then his eyes start widening, like, oh damn, that kind of a thing. So I'm wondering. So I'll go back to that.
Yeah. That clip right there.
So,
Go
yeah.
back to the when they're putting the chest piece in or the breathing apparatus into Vader. I think that's a cool look. Right there. I didn't realize that it had prongs that actually went into his body.
Yeah, I
Like when I was
figured,
growing up and everything, it was like, okay, he's got this, breathing piece or this I don't even know what it's called that regulates his breathing. I didn't realize it like actually it makes sense like Sith lore wise. It actually pierces his body and causes him pain.
yeah, which was all part of the plan, right? Like the whole breathing mechanism, and I'm sure they could have given him something that he breathed normally and you couldn't hear him, but made him look scary. So, yeah, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on this? I mean, we were talking about it along the way, but
yeah, this got me super super jacked up. Like, this was what we were waiting for. I mean, everyone knew we would get it, but it was still amazing to see. Right? Like, I think it was a really good mix in showing us some really cool things without giving too much of the plot away. Like there's still so many questions up in the air of where they could go with this. We saw some, tense interactions between Obi-Wan and Uncle Owen. We saw the Inquisitors looking on Tatooine. We saw a bit of a blaster battle, but there's still so much plot and narrative that we don't know. And I think that is good. I'm a fan of that. When a trailer gives away too much, it almost takes away from the mystery and the enjoyment you have when you're actually watching it in the moment. You're like, oh my gosh, I had no idea that was coming. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I love the trailer. I think it's great. We got to see Ewan McGregor again as Kenobi. Always gonna love that. We got our first teaser at Vader, which was incredible. And we got to see some cool things with the Inquisitors, which I love. I think the Inquisitors are super cool, super interesting characters.
Yeah, it's it was there's the few things that they added. Here's an observation. It seems like all the trailers that they've done recently for all their series or movies or whatever, it's just it's cleverly edited to where we're seeing so much, but honestly, if you look at it, it's like 2 or 3 scenes in a whole
Yeah.
series that they keep just showing a few more seconds of, and it looks like such way more than the last time. But meanwhile, it's like it's the same scene on Tatooine. There's just a little different part of it, which is really cool. Like the
Yeah.
conversation with
It's 2 seconds earlier, and
yeah, but it tells so much. And
Yeah.
I'm with you. I hate too much. Like, have you ever looked on YouTube at trailers from the 80s? Or it's like they're showing
you can guess
almost
the
the
plot.
entire
Like,
movie.
you don't need to go see the movie. Totally.
Like it's wild. So I do like this where people get annoyed. They're like, well, they kind of is on the planet again, or but we did see a lot. We got a look at Vader, and yeah, I thought that was interesting. The prongs that are going into him and attaching, that hint that maybe that was when Obi-Wan realized Anakin was alive, and maybe the Force had even shown him that he was Darth Vader, or
Mm-hmm.
or who he was. But yeah, I find the whole thing was really exciting, and it seems to me that the series is going to be Obi-Wan and the Inquisitors, and the Inquisitors will be split between the two, right? The Grand Inquisitor and Reva, and it almost seems like it's going to be a 50-50 split. I think Vader is going to come up around the end of the series. I think they're going to hold out and tell this story, and everyone's going to get excited. And in the second to last episode, maybe, because it's like 6 episodes, right?
Yeah.
They're going to drop that in on us. And then some of the rumors, not rumors, but theories from people, even James's wife he was telling me today that he was talking to his wife, and his wife has a theory as well from just seeing the trailers and some of the stuff that this might turn into a Reva story.
I think so.
So this is what his conversation was with his wife. Basically, his wife says she's going to turn good at the end. She said, ever heard of her before the series? Ever hear of her in anything after? So basically, she's going to heroically sacrifice herself in the end. So I think it's going to turn. That's one theory. Maybe it's not. Maybe Obi-Wan will be the hero of his own series. Maybe he's going to be kind of,
or we're going to have another
fiddle.
Book of Boba Fett.
That's what I mean. It's going to be.
Oh, Mandalorian's going to come into this series too.
That'd be so funny. They're like,
we're going to have 2 of the 6 episodes are going to be the Mandalorian.
Totally different times, but the Mandalorian, he was like a kid or something at that point, right? Yeah. But it would be funny. I think, yeah, it feels like it's going to be Reva's going to be all mean and bad, slowly see the error of her ways, do the big heroic save of Obi-Wan, somehow get killed by Vader, and that's it. But Vader can't see Obi-Wan. Like he has to know that he still has to believe that he's dead, right? Because then in episode 4, he is like, I don't know. I'm confused. That's just a big theory of what's going on with this script, that she's ultimately the hero of the story.
You know, it makes sense as you say it. It makes sense. I think based on that theory, I think what we're going to get is like another classic two storyline story for Star Wars, right? Like
Right.
most of the movies, you know, following two groups cutting back and forth.
Mhm.
We're going to see, you know, Obi-Wan's story on Tatooine, and then we're going to see Reva's story as an inquisitor. What is she? The third sister.
Mhm.
And then maybe it's that Jedi. Maybe if what's his name again? I had it written down. Kumail Nanjiani. Maybe he's the one that's tying tie the two together, right? He's searching for Obi-Wan. She's searching for him. She stumbles upon Obi-Wan.
Right.
Who knows? But yeah, it sounds plausible that she slowly turns, and then Vader is the one to bring her down.
It just feels so
Who would do it?
weird, except for The Mandalorian. The other series seem to have the person who's the series is named after, if this happens that way, is second fiddle to everyone else around. Like Boba Fett, as much as I like the show, it seemed like he definitely took a back seat when The Mandalorian dropped in.
Oh yeah.
And he took a back seat in most of the other episodes, as in the action part.
Yeah.
Which is weird. And if they do that with this one, it's just kind of weird. It's like Obi-Wan Kenobi, he's in there somewhere, you know what I mean? So and because I just got done earlier listening to someone, they were talking about the Moon Knight series, and I'd watched the first two episodes and I haven't gotten back into it yet, and kind of talking about how basically, spoilers for anyone, that Moon Knight has really taken a back seat to another character and has barely been in the series. You know, Oscar Isaac playing what's it, Mark and Steven or
Steven.
something.
I love Moon Knight. Like I haven't watched the finale yet, so no spoilies. But I'm
Right?
a
No.
huge fan. And I was gonna say, actually, I really hope that these trailers are giving us the Moon Knight treatment, because before
Right.
the release of Moon Knight, Disney was releasing all these trailers, and then lo and behold, the trailers only covered like the first two episodes,
I know,
and
which is
everything
brilliant.
after that was brand new. And I think that was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
really hoping that's the case. Is they've given us a sneak peek, but really we haven't even scratched the surface of what they're going to dive into.
And I do love, and looking generally at just the look and feel of the universe in the trailer. It's that great old lived in Star Wars feel again on Tatooine. But still, hey, Tatooine is like my favorite planet, so I don't care if they had like another series of just like people living their life on Tatooine. I would be okay with that, because I'm that much. See, I'm that much of a dork. So that's why my wife didn't want me to go to her class today and talk about May the 4th. So
You say that now, and we're going to get a mods show from that flashy biker gang from Book of Boba Fett. Something ridiculous.
No. I would love for that. The city that we see, the planet, it looks like the Blade Runner of that series that never was released by George Lucas. I would love that. And if there wasn't really a lot of main characters, and it was like anthology stories through the series, maybe having one or two characters, maybe a few characters that were kind of the center that revolved around them, but there was all different standalone stories from week to week that would come in, like the old days of sitcoms and stuff like that. And you're like, well, whatever happened to that character from last week? Who cares? We're on to another episode. You know what I mean?
That was last week.
Yeah, exactly. That would be kind of cool. And it would make the storytelling easier, because it seems like sometimes they have problems staying, and not Favreau or Filoni, but it just seems like a lot of these writers seem to have trouble, the showrunners, of staying on the story, like without kind of losing focus. So this would be easy, just like they used to do in the 80s, the 90s, maybe was their sitcom still then. Anyways,
Mhm.
I just think it would be a really cool show. But we didn't show this. This new poster they have
Super
is
cool.
so nice. It's
Super
so
cool.
cool.
I
do
do
like
not think, though, I do not think we're going to get Vader back on Tatooine. I think there's no chance that Vader, with Anakin, in there, the light side, going back to Tatooine, I think that would be disastrous for Vader trying to suppress Anakin. So I as
Yes.
much as I want that shot of Vader with his ignited saber to be on Tatooine, I don't think we're going to get that.
And he hates sand, so he doesn't
He
like
hates
sand.
sand
Yeah.
in the breathing apparatus.
It'd take weeks to get that out. So some
Yeah.
of the images that we got is very cool, right? And
Star
it's
map, super
really
cool.
cool how they do, like, they separated the good guys, always nice lit rooms, bad guys, everything's gray.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. There's that shot again, that awesome comment. So, and again, this, which is probably a lot of people's desktop wallpaper right now.
Yeah. You know what's funny? As a kid, I had the old Darth Vader voice changer, and
really?
that was part of it. That mechanism was part of it. You talk into this little thing that looked like the triangular mouth,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it came out of the chest piece there, the voice changer. Oh man, that's awesome.
That is very cool. Let's get to this other thing. There's not a lot to talk about. It's the behind the scenes look of the Book of Boba Fett. They released a trailer. Obi-Wan Kenobi, there it is. Let's have a quick look at that.
We're telling a Boba story that went forward, yet it flashed back to answer all our burning questions and fill in what happened to Boba.
It was the image of Boba Fett that inspired the whole thing.
Tamara Morrison is such a remarkable actor.
Wearing that armor gives you a sense of power.
John and I decided Fennec could play a really big role in this. Plus, she's a huge Star Wars fan.
I got to ride a bantha.
We were trying to create a fight style.
I can't believe I didn't faint that day.
And you felt like you were like at a space zoo.
It's all part of making this feel like one big connected galaxy.
It was just massive.
So it's very cool.
That was a really cool little teaser there.
Yeah.
There's just some great little nuggets there too. I love that they came out and just said Boba inspired this whole thing. Like, I think it was Favreau that said it, but like the image of Boba is the one that inspired this whole thing. I think that's true, right? We've talked about that before.
Right.
The idea for Mandalorian was supposed to be Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
Yeah. And then talking about pushing his story forward while also getting us up to speed. And I think they did that pretty well, actually. Like, I think the use of the Bacta tank, thinking back to that series, was really clever in filling in gaps and pushing the story forward. I had fun with that series.
Yeah, I really liked it. I'm really interested in, and I think it stems from, me as a kid seeing the making of The Empire Strikes Back for the first time and how they did all the stop motion and everything back in the day. It was mind blowing, right? It's a little funny now seeing the Tauntauns run. It's like, it's kind of clever. And in 20 years, we're going to say, oh, that CGI stuff was so funny. But the Bantha, I'm really curious to see how they did the Bantha, because I don't think it was like elephants like they did in the original movies. It just seems like, I'm sure they have that stationary thing when it's close up and it's just them on this like rocking thing. But like, did they have bigger ones? Did they have things that they could get on? I'm just really interested in that. It's so funny seeing everyone in the face shields because it was, it was COVID.
Yeah.
Blah
It was
blah
a
blah.
height of
It's just
COVID.
so weird. Like it's had to have made for a long day.
Oh yeah, on and off, and shoot the scene's done, mask goes back on. I'm a huge I'm a huge Fennec Shand fan, and I'm a huge Ming-Na Wen fan too. So
Right. Yeah.
seeing her and like how ecstatic she is about just being in the Star Wars universe and getting to be such a cool character, like the right hand of Boba Fett, I think that's cool. You can like hear it in her voice, how excited. Like she got to ride a bantha. That was cool. Those shots of Rosario Dawson with Mark Hamill blew me away. Like when they released this and you saw that, and then when they released those shots, I think Mark Hamill actually posted a few. Rosario posted a few too. Those were amazing. And we talked about how spot on the mannerisms of Luke Skywalker were too, because we were theorizing that was like fully CGI. They didn't even have Mark on set for this, right? But once again, the legend, Luke Skywalker, comes back and reprises the role, and that makes so much sense. Everything that Luke did in those 2 episodes, one major episode, was absolutely spot on. Absolutely spot on.
Yeah, I love that. I love the excitement in Rosario Dawson and Fennec Ming. Sorry, what was her name again? I keep
Ming.
saying wrong. Now, I think as I get older, I notice this more and appreciate it more. Like when I was younger, I didn't think about it or care. But as a fan, I really appreciate it when the actors are into their characters and are fans and are excited about, being in Star Wars or acting with Mark Hamill, who was Luke Skywalker, things like that. Because a lot of times it just seems like actors are invested in doing the movie, but it's a paycheck and then they move on, right? Like I've seen that when I went to the Hobbit press conference a long time ago when the movie first came out, I could tell who this was a paycheck for and who was really invested. Like I tell you, the original cast from Lord of the Rings, I mean, they lived together for 2 years and did these movies, right? They just, everything about the film was in their blood. And in this, it wasn't like that. People did live together for 2 years and everything else to film the movie. And so I really appreciated when you have Ming-Na going, I'm in a Star Wars movie. Rosario Dawson saying, I thought I was going to faint. And why? It wasn't because of the work or this or that. It's because of what they were doing or who they were doing it with and acting with. And it was like that nostalgia that everyone poo-poos on nowadays as this thing. Well, you have it from these two people who I know I'm probably older than, that are like, acting like a fangirl. And I appreciate that. That makes me go, okay, I'm into this actor playing this character because they believe in it and they're like me. So, yeah.
So do you think they must have done something with Mark Hamill's voice, but I'm sure with him acting out all the scenes, because from the shots it looked like they did every scene twice, once with Mark and once with the actor,
with the
younger actor. So I mean that's super clever. Great to see Mark Hamill back.
Now the voice wasn't Mark in any way per se. What they had done is the computer had this program they have, takes everything Mark's ever done in the movies and said, and I think even some interviews, and the computer decides, the computer's given lines and probably some other details, and the computer decides what voice part it's going to slip in there and put together. So I think it's more of a lip sync than anything else. So it's actually scary and incredible. The behind the scenes on that with Favreau talking about the CGI and kind of like the face technology with the voice and everything. As much as he praises that technology, he also acknowledges how horribly dangerous that is, right?
Totally.
So, which I was shocked. I thought he was just going to be Hollywood. We were like, yeah, it's the greatest thing ever. Because then he's like, you know, I understand that this could probably be used for evil or whatever, but like politically. So, and if people, more information on that, the Disney Gallery, Star Wars, the Book of Boba Fett. So it's like behind the scenes. I think it's July 27th. It comes out. So check it out. I'm just really into the behind the scenes stuff. So
Totally.
I think
There's
it's really
actually one more thing that really stuck out to me right at the end when it was oh my gosh, I just said his name. Dave Filoni. He
Right.
said it's all about making this feel like one big connected galaxy. I think that now we're getting close to what they're doing with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, right? They're trying to tie everything together in a way that for Star Wars hadn't done well before. And I think, and I'm gonna, at this point, I'm going to plug my own research here because that was one of my findings from that I found among Star Wars fans is the value that fans get from a connected narrative and having those pieces that fit together so well on different mediums, whether that be Disney Plus, whether that be the movies, whether that be comic books, everyone being connected to this main narrative, but also doing enough to push the story forward in an original way. And that's something that I don't think was done well in the sequel trilogy. Like there wasn't enough continuity. That was the issue. There wasn't enough continuity in that this is where they're trying to respect the main narrative, but also build on it in new, exciting ways.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, we have someone like Favreau who's connected, who came from the Marvel universe, who arguably could have, you know, people say started. Because of him, we do have the MCU with the Iron Man stuff. But and I know that the Ahsoka show, from what I understand, is going to have a lot of connection. I think it's going to pull a lot of things together for this. Now, Rangers of the New Republic kind of mess things up, right? With the removal of She Who Must Not Be Named, Gina Carano. And I think that kind of put kind of a sting into what they had planned, but you know, I'm sure they just make it up somewhere else. But
yeah,
I do like what they're doing, where they're bringing it all around. I think when Lucas was in control, it was just like the story stayed within a parameter and stuff. But what they're doing now, it's, you know, like as time progresses, right, they get better at storytelling. Like you were saying, I guess they're bringing the whole universe together. So it's going to be really cool, you know, if I'm alive in 20 years to see where they're at with all of it. So
episode 20, 21, and 22.
Oh, man. Yeah. I'm not sure if we're going to see which.
Palpatine is back.
No, God. That would be so funny. Or they're going to CGI Luke back or Han or something. But I want to just touch in on this story here. Hang on a second. Let me pull it up. This story here. So this is what I was talking about.
Yes.
So we went a part of the Return of the Jedi history. So through the celebration, Mini Museum has shared historical and scientific treasure with people, 120 countries. But what they're doing is they're offering this thing here. This was on screen in Return of the Jedi model foot of one of the Ewoks. I find it kind of funny. So apparently, for people that are into these kinds of collections, I'm sure
Steve,
it'd be really great. Now, so they also have pieces of the Krayt Dragon model that they're selling, but I think with the contest, part of it is that for every purchase, you get entered into the contest to win this. So it's kind of a giveaway with stipulations. So I'm kind of a big Ewok fan. So for me, you know, this was I thought I would promote this. So you can check out their
That's a
site.
great foot.
It's so funny looking. They sent me a ton of pictures of the foot, and it looks like that. So it's actually bigger.
So
than I
where
thought.
do I find this foot?
You find the foot, you can go to StarWarsReporter.com. There's a link at the bottom. So it's theminimuseum.com. Let's see if I can get to it. So this is their site here. So you would just go there and enter the win. See, there's some other glam shots of this foot.
Oh, we're still on the Star Wars Reporter site.
Oh, really? Oh, okay. Well, I guess it doesn't link.
Click the link yourself. Go to the website. Click the link yourself.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll get rid of that. So go to the site, check it out.
Also, go to the site. The article you posted today, Your Life, a Star Wars Story. Beautifully written article. Great. That was a great read.
Yeah, that was by James. James wrote that, and we had talked about. Here, I'll pull this up. The other one before we cut out.
I'm going to search this foot right now. I don't think my wife would be too happy if I brought home an Ewok foot.
Just don't tell her what it is and leave it out somewhere, like on the kitchen table.
Jeez, that's probably worse.
So this was written before, and this was Star Wars Day. Thank you, and may the fourth be with you. Hey, hang on a second.
Hey,
Oh.
may the fourth be with you guys. I hear you guys talking about feet, so I had to jump on and talk about Ewok feet and stuff too.
Big foot
Happy
guy there.
May the
Todd,
fourth,
eh?
guys. Hey,
there's he's like, it's a great foot. Yeah, it was at StarWarsReporter.com. You could see the article where there was a giveaway of an on-screen Ewok foot.
a shaved
I
Ewok
returned
foot.
it
It looks shaved too. Why wouldn't it be hairy?
Yeah, it's just the bottom of the foot. Yeah, I don't know why. It's very strange. But with the purchase on the site, I guess you get entered into it. So if there's anything else you want to buy there to win an Ewok foot, I was really interested because it was an Ewok and it made me kind of
Nostalgic.
Nostalgic for it. And I'm like, sure, why not? So check it out. God, I hope they're not a scam, but it's too late now. It's too late now. I was
Don't blame. A Star Wars Reporter is not responsible for your identity being stolen.
now that Todd's here, all hate mail goes to contact@StarWarsReporter.com. Attention, Todd, Trooper Todd.
Makes sense.
So
I'll take the hit.
So this is a thing that we wrote and posted for Star Wars Day. And I think it was 6 years ago. This is when we kind of launched the site on Star Wars Day on May the 4th. And it's kind of a thank you to everyone that's been following us and supporting us and, feeling sorry for us and coming to the site. So go have a read at that. But sorry, let me get rid of this now. So it's good to have you here, Todd.
I'm sorry, I was in a meeting and just ended and I had to jump on. I saw you guys are live still talking about feet, and so that's why I got to jump on.
Well, it's not that kind of podcast of that you're wondering, Todd.
I know, but
I should have said, well, hey, Todd, thanks for coming by. Okay, that's the end of the show. So
you didn't share that video, did you, of my buddy with his kid, that like 2-year-old kid in that Ewok costume?
I didn't.
Oh.
I didn't because I just thought maybe.
Yes.
You didn't say that I could or anything, so I didn't want to.
Todd would have loved that. Like, he's a buddy of mine. He would love the exposure. But yeah, I sent Steve a really cool picture of a 2-year-old in a Wookiee outfit, and Steve wanted one.
Oh,
not Wookiee.
awesome.
It was an Ewok outfit. It was
Ewok
a pretty.
outfit.
He looked like an Ewok, didn't he, Steve? That was like.
It was very cute, but if he wanted exposure, he needed to send it to a different podcast. So. All the it's just
Todd, what's your hot take on the Kenobi trailer here in the final minutes?
The hot take was wow. It was just, the ending just, again, I just loved how subtle. I think they do such a good job of the trailers. Very subtle, right? Didn't give anything away, no big spoilers. And just, the whole breathing, the apparatus being, the arm being clunked on and stuff. It just looked really, really cool. Got me kind of juiced up for May 25th. Not only is it my daughter's birthday, but yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Kenobi on the small screen.
Very nice. You know that Darth Vader, that the scene where he gets connected and the heavy breathing reminds me of when I leave the gym. That's what I sound like. Nowadays, just more creaking in my knees when I'm walking. And...
Get in the gym. It's me getting off this chair. Yeah.
I know. When I turn the camera off, I'm going to roll out and hope for the best.
I definitely look more like Jabba than I do Obi-Wan lately, but
Bib Fortuna from
yes, from Book of Fett. Yeah.
That's
Big
what
Bib.
I feel like.
I think they call him Big Bib now. Yeah.
Bib. Call him dead Bib now.
Dead Bib.
Dead Bib. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, there wasn't a lot from Star Wars Day, but we were talking earlier, Todd, and thought I think they're saving everything and the whole bundle for the celebration, because I don't think they have that much on the go.
Mm-hmm.
So I think what they do have, they're going to save it for then. And if you've been following all the guests that they're adding, it's like everyone is going to be there. So
a big deal. Like maybe see an Andor trailer eventually sometime soon, maybe, possibly.
Yeah. Maybe
still happening right now.
I remember us talking about them wrapping shooting on that like a while ago, didn't they?
Way before the Kenobi thing even started.
Yeah.
Way before Kenobi started.
And here I was speculating, like now I thought they were going to release something big like every other hour of the day. But after we got talking, it does make more sense that they're going to release for Star Wars Day. But I thought for sure we'd get something for Andor, a little tease, and maybe two, because still haven't seen any of that, and it's been about a year.
Yeah. I'm it's like I said, I don't think there's a lot on the go for them. And I think that there's been some trouble in Disney World, in Disney itself. So
Disney has some issues lately, for sure.
They've had some problems, so maybe they're not thinking too much of it. Although it's Lucasfilm, I guess, that's doing all this. But I just don't think they have a lot on the go right now that they could say, look at all these examples and artwork and pictures, and except for Kenobi.
Except for Kenobi. It was weird because their Marvel Studios end of things is churning stuff out left, right, and center, right? Mm-hmm. Like they just got they're finishing Moon Knight today, right? And then they're having the new one starting up, the new Miss Marvel one starting up soon, right? They're showing trailers for that. You got Doctor Strange starting Friday. You have they've announced that they switched Captain Marvel, the sequels with what did they switch? Was Guardians? They switched those around, the release dates. No, Thor.
Right.
Thor movie. They switched.
Thor, Thor: Love and Thunder.
They're churning out stuff left, right, and center. So I don't know what's wrong with the House of Mouse, but maybe it's Lucasfilms. Maybe there's
I think it comes down to the showrunners, or not the showrunners, but so Lucasfilm, Marvel. You know what I mean? It's who's in charge of what.
Yeah.
That is the leadership of whatever that's churning it out. Although the MCU has had a long head start on knowing how to do this, connecting the universe. So I think, they have an advantage there. And I think that Lucasfilm is trying to catch up on that style of play. And I think having Favreau coming from the MCU, I think we were talking about this before you came on, trying to do that whole, and that's their plan, to do that universe, connect everything. And I think it'll happen a lot through Ahsoka. But I think that there's been a lot of problems at Lucasfilm, or a lot of, probably administrative things and whatever else.
I think the format of phases really worked well too. Like for Marvel, they had their phase one. Mm-hmm. We knew what we were getting. We knew the heroes we were getting, the stories they were telling. everyone told a unique story, but they all connected. We had phase 2. We knew what we were getting. It kicked off with a crossover event, ended with a crossover event. We had phase 3, which connected everything. And now they clearly mapped out phase 4 for us, right? So they had everything planned out from the start of what they were going to do, how they were going to connect, how everything was going to move forward. And I think that's something that Star Wars would benefit from. Like, I think Favreau and Filoni have been doing great in adding to the overall story of Star Wars, filling in some really neat gaps. But like we were talking about earlier, is, you know, the sequel trilogy suffered from that continuity. Like, it felt disjointed, and that now we're seeing Favreau and Filoni try to fix it and inject that plan and continuity back into things that everyone loves. And I honestly think Star Wars would probably benefit from some of that phase-like planning, not necessarily phases, but just a plan of what we're going to do, how we're going to move this forward, what you're going to get, as opposed to, you know, just little tidbits or just all at once. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Any kind of plan, right?
Yeah, well, again, slow rollout is the best way. Build your stories, build your characters, create a following, right? And I think they're doing a fantastic job. I'm sure you guys talked about it, how they already try to intersecting Clone Wars with Mandalorian and Book of Fett, and they're bringing characters in, right? So they're now crossing over. That's the start, right? So you just keep that ball rolling, keep it churning, and keep the interest high, and don't disappoint fans, and then you'll get a following, right?
Yeah, don't disappoint fans.
Well,
the first phase of the Star Wars universe is tell every story on Tatooine. After that, we'll go to another planet.
It's so funny. I know. That's what you're going to hear the most of, is people, I'm tired of Tatooine and blah, blah, blah. It's like,
we were talking about this when we were talking about the book of Boba Fett, right? Everyone's tired of Tatooine. I can never get tired of Tatooine.
Yeah, I like sand. There's so much of it in Canada.
It gets in everywhere too. You love it, right?
I know. I love it. It feels good, especially when I'm walking. It rubs all the right spots. But with that, I think we're gonna end it there. I'm looking forward to Obi-Wan, and man, we just need a Bad Batch. We need Ahsoka. We need Andor. I'm so looking forward to Andor because of the potential for craziness in that series, because he's like a terrible spy. I hope they keep him. They don't make him the hero that he became in Rogue One, Andor. I hope he is the guy who does what he needs to do to get stuff done, whether it's good or bad.
I'm sure he's a good spy. Just maybe he plays hardball.
He does what he needs to do, right? And I hope they keep that edge. They need to keep that edge and not play him as the hero he became.
See, you gotta wonder about that, right? Like, they might just play it safe, right? Like Fett was pretty tame. He was pretty nice guy.
Because Han Solo wasn't a nice guy until he became the hero, right?
Until Han didn't shoot first, then it kind of like, right? The downfall of Star Wars.
Yeah, we need that growth. We need the growth.
Han shot first. I'm sorry, he did.
Exactly. You heathens. All right. Thanks for everyone who tuned in and listened and didn't laugh that much at us. And be sure to check us out on our social media. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel and this video. So we'll do our, I just want to play that video again, our thanks on the way out. Happy Star Wars Day. May the 4th.
May the 4th
be with you guys. Good night.